Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. Tensions are high in the South China Sea, where as much as two-thirds of all trade passes through. American Vice President Joe Biden said the U.S. is pushing China to negotiate quickly with Southeast Asian nations on a code of conduct for the South China Sea, an area he says that's, quote, a major highway of commerce. That's 3 majors for those scoring at home. Confronted with a potentially explosive conflict between its members in China, the Regional Trade Group Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, has pushed to restart negotiations for a Regional Code of Conduct, or COC, to settle territorial disputes in the South China Sea. Beijing surprised analysts last month when it agreed to host senior officials to discuss a COC in September of this year. On a positive note, all sides at least seem to recognize the need to diplomatically address the disputes before they explode into a full-blown conflict. There is much mutual misunderstanding in the area and seemingly even less room for compromise, underscoring the deadly potential for unintended skirmishes. The South China Sea is of immense economic importance to the global economy because of the high traffic of freight that passes through the waters, not to mention the oil and gas trapped below the sea. China National Offshore Oil Corporation, or CNOOC, estimates the South China Sea may hold about 5 times more undiscovered natural gas than the country's current proven reserves. China and the Philippines have also signed an agreement to establish a hotline to manage incidents arising from activities in the disputed areas. These agreements, however, were consistent with Beijing's long-held insistence that disagreements be settled through bilateral means. China opposes attempts to involve third parties or world bodies in the South China Sea disputes, demanding instead to one-on-one negotiations with other governments like Vietnam and the Philippines. One-on-one, China's size advantage is, of course, even more pronounced. Because of this, many doubted whether China would ever agree to negotiate a more binding COC through ASEAN. Still, there are many questions about whether China's civilian leadership has the will or ability to control the People's Liberation Army and paramilitary forces, both of which have been pivotal in recent South China Sea confrontations. In March, major reforms were announced at the government's Lianghui, or 2 meetings, when 4 maritime agencies were consolidated into one, hopefully contributing to better coordination. Professor Susan Shirk, a respected China expert, said China's newly revamped Coast Guard is a positive development. Shirk, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, told the New York Times that vessels previously belonging to the Fisheries Law Enforcement Agency were especially aggressive in the South China Sea over the past few years. Professor Shirk said this kind of behavior could be modified under the new structure. Shirk explained as the new group develops a sense of professionalism in accordance with international law, it should lower the risk of accidents. As Lyle Goldstein of the U.S. Naval War College told the Times, of the 10 biggest ports in the world, more than half are in China, so China has a major incentive to keep sea lanes free of conflict and open for business. You're watching Biz Wire on the Blue Ocean Network. We'll be right back with more insight into the big picture of China's economy.